right? So for this, we have this explanatory data analysis on job salary in data science, and we are going to import first the basic data set, right? So let me focus on the data set first. This is kind of salaries, and the records are separated by comma. This is why this field is comma called CSV, comma separated value, and we have so many columns like work year, experience level, employment type, and everything, right? So first let me import this data in my single variable called data, right? So I'm going to run this code, and let me check what is the type of this variable which is consisting my salary data set, and let me have this data set, right? You can see it's called data frame. So what is the data frame here? Data frame in pandas, we have two kind of data frame, right? First is first is called data first is called series, right? Series is nothing but single dimensional data, right? Single dimensional data when you are talking about single column, I would say. But when you have in the same pandas, when you have multi-dimensional data, so we call it data frame, and this is actually multi-dimensional data set. Is that fine? So we have two kind of data set in the pandas. First is series, which is single dimensional, pointing towards single column. We have pandas, second data set, data format, that is data frame. It's a two-dimensional or more than two-dimensional, right? So here is an example of what we are talking about. We are talking about salary of the employee, and we are going to check the sample set, right? For this we have data.sample, right? So along with this value, you can see the data value are just given over here. So here we have SE, FT, right? So let's come again one by one. Let's explore. So unnamed 0 means index value, alright? The work year means when they have joined or what is the work area, right? Year. Experience level means SE. SE stand for we have senior executive, right? Somewhere we have employment type. FT stand for full time. Okay. So let me import some other libraries also. Matplotlib for my data visualization, Cborn for my other parts calculation, and Matplotlib inline for my image.show, like, or my plot.show. I don't have to write plot.show every time, right? So let me check how many columns CULUMNS is, how many columns this data set consisting of. This is having index number at the very first position. We have work year, we have experience level, and we have employment tab everywhere, right? So let me focus zoom in every data column one by one. How to go through the zoom in part? You just have data square bracket and write the column name, and just write value counts. This is the function which depict all the relevant or the individual counts, right? So the explanation or the illustration part of this work here says we have only 3 years data set. 2020 we have 72 employees, for 2021 we have 217, and for 2022 we have maximum employees 318, which means my company is growing year by year, and the recruited people are increasing year by year. This is the implication part of this value counts, right? So let me have one more year, like let's say data, and let me take another variable, experience level, right? So what is the experience level of this entire? So let me remove one quotes here, one quote from this side, and let me hit. You can see SE. So SE stands for senior executive. MI, mid-level candidates. Those are having job responsibilities in my consortium. EN, engineer. EX, executive level, right? CEO, director, managers, right? General managers. So they all are having EX committee or EX level, right? Can I check employment data type? What kind of employment? Because I must understand the interpretation part of my entire column. So let me go through the employment type. So FT stands for full time, PT part time, and when we have this CT means then we have the CT contextual base, and then FL means we have the means context freelancer, right? So FL stands for freelancer. We have very less freelancer working in our employee, right? Similarly, you can see employee residence. If you will have employee residence and paste it here in the before the value counts, so you will found unique kind of employee residence, and this is the unique number for each country. For example, US for USA, GB, I don't know what is the country stand for, IN of course India, CA California, and ER and so on, right? Similarly, you can go for another part. But very first thing you must understand that we don't need index number. We don't need the index value from here. So I'm going to drop this function by hitting data.drop column name, very first column, and access is equal to 1. I'm deleting column wise, not the records wise or row wise. So here we have point of discussion, like can we have a column duplication? Yes, we are deleting that point. In place is equal to true says you are going to delete from the original location itself. If you, this is the optional part. If you are not writing this thing, which means you are not deleting the same, you are not performing the same action relevant to the original location, right? Again, I am deleting salary and salary currency, which is denoting the duplicating of columns, because when you will have the interpretation part, we have salary in USD also. USA dollar conversion already given in my records, which says you are having duplicate values in your data set, right? So I don't need this salary and salary currency. Now let me check this data column again. Now you have refined, we have deleted first column value index number, and the US salary in USD, you have this one. We have deleted salary and salary in another format, so we are having rest of the columns here. It's important to approach this with very long term perspective when you need to apply or deploy machine learning algorithm here, right? So can we have experience level unique? What are the unique value? You can see again ME mid value, SE senior executive or engineer, EN engineer, EX executive level, right? So we are converting this level. Okay, so let me show one value over here, like data dot head. So I'm going to perform this operation so that we can have this experience level. Can you see this experience level over here, right? So now we have experience level over here, right? Because already we have converted this map function to ME, they replaced by mid, SC replaced by senior, and EM replaced by here, right? Can you see? Okay, so we have engineer and so on, right? Now can you see this engineer label is now replaced, right? Now come again to the mapping part. What are the discussion of the, what are the illustration part of this map? Let's say we are having this list, and it's a consisting of different like 25, 30, 15 elements, and we are going to define this Celsius to Teclang function inside the Celsius, right? And you need to operate these two mathematical operations inside the function, right? So so let's begin with this term. Like, so we are going to map this list value, this function which is Celsius to Teclang. I have written this Celsius to Teclang here with the list 1, and this list 1 is defined at the second level. So mapping this function with the list 1 and eventually converting to the list, right? So you will find this entire value, right? Maybe this is not given, not defined. So Celsius to Teclang, I need to change this function, Teclang, right? So the function name should be same when you are calling this. Now can you see, this is calling the same function and deploying everything. If you will increase the number of elements here, let's say I am increasing few numbers more with my list and running the same code again, you can see now the same code is deployed over my function again and again, right? So this is part, we are having this Celsius and the Celsius different value, right? Now can we apply the map function using lambda? So yes, we have this lambda x is equal to x plus 2 and deploy this numbers, deploy this lambda function using this numbers, right? So this is the example number 2, how we are implementing map function. So I'm going to deploy this map and you can see the entire number 1 to 250 is just showing here. The similarly they are just increasing 20 every time. So 250, 270, 148, 168, and it's just incrementing by 20 itself, right? So this is the crucial part. Like, we have two parts of mapping function. First is the customized function using def keyword. Second one is the lambda. We can operate or we can deploy both kind of functions along with us with our list value, right? Next, can we have data is null sum? Do I have any null value in my data set? No, I don't have any null value or any empty value, right? So here is an example of what we are talking about. If we will have any null value, so we will have to operate or we will have to solve that part or fill some median or mode value, and then we will go ahead, right? Do we have duplicate value? So we have 42 duplicate value and we are not fine with these 42 rows. So what I'll do, I'll drop these duplicate values and will have, now I'll have less number of records. Can you see data.shape 565 and we have the entire value, right? So salary in USD, we have this the univariant value. So salary with USD we are going to calculate the statistic part. So can you see, this is the 565 and minimum number just showing, and all the values are given over here. So can we have salary in USD box plot? Yes, you can see so many so many outliers are also depicting on the screen, right? We are having outliers, right? So beyond 3 lakhs US dollar, all these outliers are showing in my box plot, right? So when we go for the box plot itself, so you can see the box plot says, suppose we are having this Infosys. Okay, so do we have any doubt? Okay, so let's come again here. We have Infosys employees and they are recruiting one by one. recruited by the employee itself, right? Now you just focus on their salary band. One employee saying I am having 10 LPA a salary package offered by Infosys. Second employee saying I have been offered 8 LPA and 6.5, 5 LPA, 8.2, and suddenly we have 29 LPA employee, right? Can you see this 29 LPA? The next candidate says in a same domain 6 LPA, 5.2 LPA, 52 LPA, and so on, right? So can you identify two candidates those are having out of the domain salary range? Anyone? I hope you all are having this conception, like we have domain of similar kind of salary packages. Like which two employees are having different salary packages? Can anyone read it out? Anyone? What do you think about this salary package? Like we have 10, 8, 6.5, and suddenly we see this 29 LPA and 52 9 6. So out of the box, which two elements are given over here? So we have two employees, 29 LPA. Of course, he will be recruited as the general manager, and next we have 52 LPA employee. He might be recruited as a CEO of the Infosys, right? So we are concluding that we are talking about class third and fourth employee, not talking about higher authority, which means 29 and 52 LPA is outlier for us. It's not saying that Infosys cannot hire at this salary bound. Yes, Infosys can hire certainly, but here is the brainstorm part. For this salary range, we have these two candidates out of the box, and this is the called, we are saying this is the outlier for my box plot. Am I clear? So this is the definition of box plot and your salary range. Now, coming again, moving ahead, we have outlier beyond 3 lakhs. So I'll check the data set, how many outliers I am having, right? What is the shape of this data set? You can see 10 comma 9. So 10 rows, 9 columns, which means 10 records are there, 10 employees are there. Those are having beyond this 3 lakh, right? So they are having beyond 3 lakh salary and beyond my salary domain. So we have already discussed, we need to deploy, we need to remove this salary data prime. So what I'll do, I'll remove this salary in USD, and you can see it's now just removed. So you have data.shape, so 555, previously it was 567 something. Now we have removed the outliers. Final dataset contains consisting of 555 and 9 records, right? So this is the agenda of today's meeting, that we are going to pre-processing for different features itself, provided features, right? Now we have the next part. Suppose I need to create this box plot. So what I do, I'll create this function count plot and try to figure it out features one, right? So as far as first column is concerned, let me have this work year, and this work year will call or the invoke this count plot function, and this work year will replace this feature here and will execute all these operations, right? So I'm going to run this code, and you can see visualization part of this data set. We have let me minimize this. Okay, so we have this 2020 to 20 very less employees work here, 2021 a moderate kind of, 2022 we have largest number of employee in my company. All right, so this is the summarized part what we have discussed so far. So far we have column wise visualization for my data team, right? Can I check for another job title itself? Yes, I can go through the job title also. So if you have the multi-talented, like the job title for this, if you go through this part, so you will find this job title itself. Right? Can you see? This is having ML engineer, data scientist, visualization, and ETL developer, and so on. Right? You can see the all the bar chart over there for the respective employee data set. Right? And you can interpret it, or you can find the statistic value. Right? So let me give you some background on this. The second multivariate analysis, when we have dependency. So what is the dependency, right? Dependency means, suppose you need to calculate which job titles earn highest salary, right? So for this you will have to decide, like, uh, either it is one part or the second part differentiation, right? If it is having one part, one column dependency, so this is called bivariant. If it is having no dependency, only single column will work for you, so it is called univariant. When we have multivariant means when we are having more than two dependency, 3, 4, and so on, so we'll call it multivariant analysis, right? So for this I am going to create this box plot, and let me have this another, this one. So we are having this function to plot bar plot, right? Can you see this bar plot is having average salary for each title, and let me draw this graph again, and finally you will find this average salary for each scientist. ETL developer, we have functional data scientist, and using the same color or same bar value you will find their salary itself, right? And what is the solution? Question number 1, which job titles which earns highest salary? So by looking at the graph you will find the highest bar will belong to the principal data engineer, and you will give the answer to your higher authority that based upon my data history, principal data engineer is having highest salary in my data set, right? Okay. So what is the average salary of this each experience, right? Can we have this value, right? So for this, what is the box plot, right? So for this I need to create the box plot again. So I will call this box plot, and with this box plot experience underscore level, and I am going to create salary in USD, right? And with this going to associate with my data set, and then experience, this is the label for my data set, experience versus salary, right? So let me give some space over here, and then let me draw the box plot. Can you see this box plot? So we have this MI, the SI, and the EN part, and the box plot, and here you can see the average salary is some more than experience level, right? Can you see these mid part? So mid part is 82,000 something. In the mid part we have 1,35,000, and we have this one, 1,59,000 for EXE, and 61,000 for 6-1, right? So what was the question? The question for us was, what is the average salary for each experience level? So by looking at the box plot you can depict, or you can give the answer for the same, right? So you can find out the answer of this question, right? The third question, this was the second question, and what is the third question? I need to ask from my data set, what is average salary for company size large, small and medium, right? So you need to find this company size, right? We need to find out average salary for company size, right? So I am going to comment this one. For this we have code box underscore plot. For this we have company underscore company. Make sure you don't have typo error there. Size, and then the second part we have salary in USD, and then we have associated with this records, and then I'm going to give this company size versus salary, right? So this box plot will give company size and salary in USD, right? So can you see the company size? So you can see this company salary in USD and company size, just L is large, S stands for small and M stands for medium. For these three categories, we are having this salary, average salary here. The in the mid part of the box plot, you can see the average part, right? So average value, that is the 50th percentile. So 10 10 lakh or 1 lakh 6,560, 73,697 and 1 lakh 12,000 is the second value, second average for median one, right? So here you can give your answer that the respective salaries are given over here, right? So on an average, employee in the mid size earns more than large salary, right? You can depict this thing in your given question mark, right? So this question number 4: does people working full time earns more than contract based employee, right? So you are asking from this data set, right? Are they having more salary, full time earns having more salary, or contract based having more salary? So what you'll do, you will write the box plot again, box plot, and you will find the employment type, right? So E is extra here, that would be the typo error, and with this I am having salary in USD, right? And then having data, and let me give some employee type versus salary. This is the label for my box plot. So let me run this box plot. You can see employee salary versus given over here, right? So what is the average of these three, these candidates, right? What you can depict from the above figure? Can you see here we have highest salary, right? The full time are having this one and contractual base having this one, right? But it will focus on the this one, full time and the contractual base, right? So full time is the maximum is this one, and CT is given here, which means full time is the highest value, salary of contractual base salary is higher, right? Can you see the average value here? Contract based employee is more than full time, and it might be impacted by the outliers, right? We have outliers in the full times also, and we have this outliers in this contractual base also, right? But anyhow, you can see at the average salary, you can see, looking at the average salary of CT and compare the FT here, you can compare or you can depict the final solution that the contractual base employee are having higher salary than the full-time kind of employee, right? So this is the comparison part over here, right? Now, can we have another part? So data with this data column, and I'm going to employ employment employment type. This employment type should be equal to CT. So I'm looking for the CT only, right? And let me wrap this entire condition into the round bracket, and let me zoom it out, right? And this is the first condition. The second condition, I need the records with the salary in USD are beyond 2,50,000, right? So I need this kind of data set. How many employees are there? Can you see? Only one employees are there. Those are having 2,27,000, right? So what is the need of this interpretation? Because you can see this outlier, right? So this outlier is beyond 2,50,000. So I want to check this this uh, this outlier value and which index number it is consisting of, right? So you can see the outlier is just having this employee which is having this much of record, right? He is MI mid level, he is CT contextual base, ML machine learning engineer, and salary in USD is 2,70,000, and employee of USA, and another parts are given over here, right? So once, can we remove this part, right? Yes, of course we can remove this part also. Cut A, cut C, cut B. So how to remove this one? So we can give this one and shift end and wrap in a round bracket, and again give the negation part. Negation means you don't need this value, and assign the entire value to your original data set itself. So let me run this code again and create one more time. Let me copy this code again, and this time you won't find this data because you have already removed this part, right? So now you have removed the outliers, right? So let me create this box plot again, underscore box plot, and inside this box plot, let me copy this entire code from here so that I don't need to type it again. Cut A, cut C, and try to draw this graph again without the outliers, right? So that I will have better comparison for the same. Now you can see employees salary, and now wonderful, we have this outlier and the maximum salary, right? Can you see this part portion is just given here, which was not shown earlier, right? So here you can see it's full time earns more than. Now can you see the one like 1,06,000 something average salary of the full time, and these contractual base are having 78,000. Now we have reverse order. So full time employees earns more than contract base employees. This is the interpretation part from this box plot using the average salary, right? So what is the next question we need to ask? So question number 5. Okay, let me have any. Okay, let me have any. Uh, okay, So the next question says we we are asking is salary less for employees working remotely than who comes to office, right? Is it true? So they are asking a cross question, that is it true? So once again, let me have this box plot, plot plot, and this box plot says the remote ratio, right? What is their remote ratio? And then salary in USD, right? Then we will associate with the same data set and the remote ratio versus salary. So we are going to input this, right? Okay, so I just refresh the data set. So I'll have to run each code. Okay, restart the run. Okay, let me run this code again. So let me summarize. So we have what we have as of now. Okay, so I'm giving this question to all of you, that do we have, okay, do we have this salary ratio? Yes, we have this box plot over here. This is kind of remote ratio and the salary in USD and then data set, right? We will have this, we are having this box plot, right, which is having this another value and so on, right? This is because I just refresh the code. I don't need to refresh, and you can see the no remote ratio. You can go for the same, right? So on an average, people working as on remote, right, earns more than. Here you can see we are having this label set, right? Okay. So what's the next question we can ask from the, so which country, if this will again show the same errors, I'll have to run the code one more time. Pays which country more than more, which country pays more to the employees, right? So I need to ask from the code, right? So what I'll do, I'll write the box underscore plot, and then with the box plot I need the company underscore location, their location, and then I am going to perform this records, and then average salary versus each country. Let me run this code again, right? Okay, so I think this code is not, I'll have to run that box plot again. I just refresh the code, so it's just going to the overhead one more time. So let me run this box plot again. Is it showing any error? No, I don't have any error. So let me run this code again. Okay. Okay, it's having this title value. Okay, this is not the box plot. This is the bar plot actually. And we are having company wise data set, average salary, and the location wise. Can you see? This is having line. So anyone can decide, right, what is the salary point, what is the salary point given over here, right? Anyone can explore this point. like which bar we have the highest one along the horizontally. We have highest bar, I think IL, right? Do we have anything other than, oh, we have RU, Russia, I think. So Russia is paying very higher salary to their employees, right? So this is the protection part, right? The Russia is paying higher salary, right? So when you go up, so for US, what about the US? So can we have the next part after the Russia? I think that the second highest bar is for US, right? So Russia and US, these two countries are paying highest salary to their employees, right? Is this correct? Okay. Second, next question we can ask from my data set, question number 7. What is the next question? What is the highest earning job in highest paying countries, right? So we know we have two countries, Russia and USA. So we will have this highest paying salary. What is the highest paying salary? And we will check in these two countries only, right? So what is the data set? So I'll give this RU, right? And the next data set I'll create this US is equal to. So for Russia we have data and the data again, and the company location, company underscore location should be equal to RU, that is the Russia part, right? For US, I'm going to execute the same code, but on condition that this must be US only, not the RU, right? Finally, I need to create one bar plot with this job title, and this bar plot will have data underscore RU, oh sorry, no comma here, underscore RU, and then I'm going to write average salary for each job title in Russia, right? So this will depict the entire scenario. Let's see what is the average salary over here. Okay, so head of science, right? Can we have this one? Hmm. Yes. So we have these job titles. Can you have head of science and head of data science? These are two salaries, right? So inside the Russia we have these two means these two average salary, these two job title only. So they are showing the same code, right? Can we have the bar plot for US in a same pattern? So let me create the bar plot for US one more time. So for this I need to change data underscore US and average salary for each job title in USA. So let me create the bar plot for the same. We have so many job title in USA, and let me find out the highest salary there. So highest earning job in Russia is head of data, right? Can you see? Can you see from this term? This is the head of data, and the highest salary in the Russia is, I think, this bar, director of data science, or no, ML engineer. So ML engineer is the highest. Do we have any other highest ML engineer? No. ML engineer is the highest job title paying in USA, right? And the second one is the director of data science. These two are second one. right? So is that clear? This is how you can find out the highest salary or highest earning moment from there, right? Now let me have question. Next question I need to ask from a data set. I'm going to ask what is average salary for highest earning job titles working at expert level, right? So what is the average salary there? So job title working at salary, what is the highest salary, right? So what we'll do, we'll create a bar underscore plot, right? So of course we need to create bar plot here. So for this we are having this title, job title, because we need the expert level and so on, and then we need the data. Okay, so first we need to define the another part like the data underscore expert. I am going to create one more data frame. So we have data, and then we'll define this experience level. Experience level should be equal to expert. For us, we have EX, right? So EX stand for expert, right? Can we define this one? And can we have this data underscore expert dot head, so that let me sure doubly sure that we have expert level EX only. Can you see all the expert level are EX only, right? This is EX only, right? So how many, what is the shape of this data frame? 22 records we have. So out of 22 you need to find what is the average salary of highest earning job titles working at expert level, right? So at the expert level you just prune the entire data frame, right? Right, but you need to find the average salary there. So what you do, you just create the bar plot for your job title and the next expert, and then we have any average salary for each job title with experience level. Let me create one more time, right? Can you see this is showing the quantitative value here. So we have data engineer. Do we have another basket? Oh, we have head of data again. We have highest point is head of data, and second number we have data engineer. Let me check this plot again. Head of data, sorry, head of data and data engineer. So head of data is the highest and data engineer is the second highest. So you can give the answer statistic value that we have these two parameters over there, right? So head of data and data engineer working at expert level earns more than any other jobs at expert level, right? So this is the solution for your final part, right? So is this sufficient for today? So don't hesitate to reach me out if you have any doubt or any particular query.